Hello and welcome back to another episode of Blades of Glory. This episode is a bonus type episode as we're going to be doing a squad report looking at a few of the things like the dynamics, just overall players, how they progressed, looking back at a couple of good goals and highlights from players, and also looking at next season and potentially any transfers I'm looking to bring in before we actually start next season. So I hope you like the episode. Let's get on with it. This has just come up after our final game against Bristol City. We've got our end of season reward. Slightly surprising winner, John Lundstrom with 38%. He did have a good season. I'll touch on that later on, seeing exactly how everyone performed, average ratings and stuff like that. Goal of the season was Samir Carruthers. We will see this again later in this episode. I know that for sure, but I am going to watch this because it deserves to be watched again. Let's just swap it into. Oh no, it is in 3D highlights. Here we go. Coots was out on the right. Not brilliant from him. Hayden collects it. Brooks plays it into Carruthers. Smashes it first time. I think there was from Coots. We didn't show it to you in 3D at the time, but there was a goal which I reckon could have been better than that. We will see that one later this episode. Signing of the season, Ortola. Not surprised by that. Peter Crouch was on loan, otherwise he'd probably be the man who was the signing of the season. Young player of the season, Lundstrom, not surprising as he won player of the season, but he is 24, so he's almost outside of the bracket for that, I'd guess. Team of the season, they've gone with our 4-1-2-on-2. They must have liked that. I think there were a few complaints on the social feed about my 5-3-2 and the various variations of it. So yeah, not surprising they like this formation. Bulldog, O'Connell, Concern, Stevens. I'm glad to see Concern in there. We played him basically every game in the second half of the season, so he cemented his place in there now. Hayden, Coots, Carruthers. No Lundstrom in this team. Okay, I don't know what that's about. I think the fans just watched the last few games because I didn't really play Hayden in many of them, and he played in the last few games. So if we look at recent games, he scored 2 goals and he scored 1 goal, and that's just imprinted on their memory. So he is player of the season. I'm not going to complain about that. And then Brooks, Sharp, and Crouch, good to see up there. Stats: top goal scorer, Sharp. Yeah, he was very important for us this season. He was playing a lot in this deep line forward role, so um, he could have got more goals, I think, if he was an advanced forward. Most assists, Bulldog. Um, best pass completion, Lundstrom. Slightly surprising because his passing isn't amazing. Red cards, not too many of them we're seeing there, so that's all good. Season review, expected to struggle, but we finished comfortably in mid-table. Great stuff. We got knocked out third round and fourth round. That was disappointing. To lose against Sunderland, I'm not really asked about, but that was very disappointing to lose in the cup, especially when we kind of knew at that point that we weren't really going to be fighting for much else. I probably should have played a stronger team. Squad dynamics. Let's just go on to the actual dynamics screen if we can. Here we go. Hierarchy. It has changed a lot from earlier in the season. Peter Crouch just coming here as a team leader, which is good to see. Obviously, Billy Sharp as well, team leader. He's always going to be a team leader. I'm not sure if Stearman was up there with him at the start of the season, but there are not many players in this highly influential bit. Freeman stepped up there, I believe. Hayden stepped up there. Maybe Coots has as well. Jack O'Connell, he's possibly in line to being our vice captain next season, as he is a crucial player for us, basically. Social groups, it's kind of split up a bit, actually. There's quite a few sort of early 20s players in here, maybe 20 years old, 21 years old, and then these two are sort of 25 years oldish. So another social group between Blackman and Smith. That's a slightly odd combo. Blackman being 24 years old on loan from Chelsea, Smith being only 16. Actually, the youngest player to have played for Sheffield, which is quite nice to see. And then these all players that have come in recently in no social group, so that's good to see that Henry's going to be going back, and hopefully Ortola can mix in. Let's just see his dynamics page, whether he can. He is establishing himself, so hopefully he will soon be able to get into the team. I've noticed there Peter Crouch is inspired leader, so we may look at bringing him back because he could be really crucial to the squad dynamics and stuff like that. But overall, very, very good. End of season team meeting. My plans for next season, I am going to say, I think mid-table. I think I'm going to say mid-table because we did well this season. Maybe they're not going to be happy with that, but they are. That's great. I don't know why these players aren't. It didn't show up that they weren't happy with that, so that's a bit annoying. Those two are buzzing after their game. Lafferty, Stearman, Evans, and Moore. Well, all of these players haven't played very well this season, so if I've annoyed them, then so be it. I will take that to make other players happier. Pre-season start day. Okay, who cares about that? Right, we're going to have a look at the squad report now. So I'm going to start off with the keepers. We just blanked out everyone else. So we'll just have a little look at each of the players. Simon Moore with the highest average rating. They each played a similar amount of games. So that really gives us an idea of who's the best player and who's more settled. There isn't much difference in the average rating. So I don't think you can really take that much from it. I think they've all played quite well. But let's have a little look at Ortola's highlights. In terms of the defence, I'm just going to have a look at the wing backs first. So Ender Stevens, he was the highest rated player throughout the season. He played very well. He got a number of assists, maybe due to him being on a left back support duty. That might make his overall rating better than Baldock, because Baldock maybe strayed forward a bit too much this season. He played a bit more than Lafferty, but I don't think there was too much between them in their performances. I said last episode that Lafferty had been playing quite well for us, so happy to keep those two around. Baldock, we're going to have a little look at some of his highlights. Then Freeman and Daniel Smith's actually on this page. Freeman was quite good, but I think he's just a bit too offensive, really, or not great enough defensively. Marking, tackling, teamwork, positioning is not great. He's a bit like the Alberto Moreno, if you like, of the right-hand side for our team. Daniel Smith, he's just come in. He's not really a right back. He's more of a centre back. But I was very, very pleased with how he played in this first game, and pleased with how he's progressing. So it'll be good to see how he can do next season. Looking at the players in the centre now, the best average rating, it's great to see, is Ezri Konsa. So let's have a look at a couple of his highlights. Then after Konsa is Jack O'Connell. That's not surprising. He's played 46 games this season. I think he's started maybe 43, 44 in the league. He really has not got any injuries, which is great to see. And he's decent leadership. So as I said before, he may well be becoming the vice captain soon. Cameron Carter-Vick has played well. If we can get him back, we might well look to do that. Stearman, average rating not good enough for a player of his quality. Donnell Henry just came in and was a backup, so not really bothered about him. Looking at our central midfielders now, Mike Clayton's on the top after that one goal. He can play centre midfield and in advanced playmaker. Advanced forward. I don't think I'm going to make him that, so I think he's better suited to this advanced forward role. Above 7 at least in everything apart from balance. Balance doesn't matter too much at this stage. It's not surprising. John Fleck came back from injury and performed very well, so we're going to be looking to play him on that left side in a deep line playmaker a lot next season. Lundstrom came in well at the end of the season, got player of the season. Not sure if that's deserved, but he did score a few goals for us, got a couple of assists. Coots, we're going to have a look at a couple of his highlights and see that goal that he scored. Carruthers now, we're going to have a look at his highlights as well. Brooks as well, but another player on a 6.91 rating for the season. Slightly surprising. He got in on a lot of goals. Let's have a look at his highlights. Only Abu Diaby, he only got one game and then he sadly got injured again. So we'll have him for next season. He's worth 2.7 million. If he's not injured, I might look to sell him and maybe cash in on him. I feel like no club will really want to buy him because they didn't snap him up on free transfer, but it might be worth a try. Looking at the attackers now, we've got Mike Clayton at the top, unsurprisingly. Peter Crouch, 7.04 rating, the only player to have played quite a few games to creep into that 7.0 or whatever rating above 7. He got 7 goals in 13 appearances. Pretty good for him. Let's have a look at his highlights. Sharp. Let's have a look at his highlights. He got in on the act, a couple of assists as well. Clayton Donaldson filled in reasonably well this season. 6.79, far better than Ched Evans. Ched Evans really wasn't great this season. He's dropped down now to a 3-star rating. I think he is a good player. We just didn't work out how to get the best out of him. I thought in that advanced playmaker role, he'd just be able to sit in there, get fed by the attacking midfielder or by his fellow strike partner, but that wasn't to be, and he did not score many goals. But we are going to probably keep him next season, along with Sharp, along with Shaibu, who might get a few more chances next season. Just a little look at what our tactics are likely to be for next season, and then that maybe give you a little bit of an idea of the players we're looking at as well over the summer. So this is going to be the starting team. Ortola, we want him to carry on impressing. Simon Moore is actually wanted by Wolves, so if an offer comes in for him, his contract's not expiring this year. If an offer comes in for him, we might well look to sell him. We've got George Long coming back from loan, who could be a capable backup for us. The rest of the team we're looking at is Conser, Stearman, and O'Connell. I said before we want to accommodate Stearman in there. Stevens, Baldock on the left and right. We've got good backouts for them. We're going to be looking at getting 1 or 2 centre backs in for sure. Yeah, Gelka was a player we looked at. We might look at getting him in, but actually he's not got very much pace, so we're probably going to be looking at someone else. We're actually going to change these to just central defender. Actually, no, sorry. We're going to keep these on cover and we're going to take it off, play out on defence, because that is not what we want with ball playing centre backs. I learned that recently. In midfield, Fleck and Lundstrom, of course. Lundstrom's been playing very well. I really underestimated him, I think, this season. Technically, he does not look very good, but he's a hard worker. He's got good mental stats, pretty good physical stats, even if not that much pace. So I quite actually liked him. We're going to try him out a bit more than next season. Fleck, obviously, in there, probably our best playmaking central midfielder, at least. Coutts is there as well. Similar kind of player, actually. Maybe a little bit better defensively, maybe a little bit weaker as a actual playmaker. Brooks is going to be in the attacking midfield position. I do not want to stop playing Brooks. I want him just to keep improving, even if that means he's in the attacking midfield position. He's actually worth 7.5 million now, so he may attract some interest. We're not going to sell him for anything less than, I'll say, 15 million. Ideally, no clubs will come in for him, and we'll just be able to keep him. Up top is going to be Billy Sharp, and he's going to be next to Evans at the moment. But we're ideally going to bring in another striker. That could be Peter Crouch, as his contract expires, but that really is dependent on wages. I do not want to spend very much on wages at all, so I'm going to be looking to bring in someone else first. He may be kind of last resort. Go back to someone that's tried and tested. We know he'll do well, and he is kind of a different option for us as well. So that's it. We're going to have these players. There is a lot more to bring in. Obviously, there's a few loan players we had. Smith and Clayton aren't really good sort of rotation backup players yet. We're going to be playing them a bit. So actually, we probably need to bring in 5 or 6 players. That may be a couple of these loans coming back to bulk up the squad. And let's just see what we have to work with. I don't have the transfer budget or wage budget for next season yet, but we've got the projection. Our balance is not good. We've got the projection for wages next season. Can I click on the right screen? Next season's wage budget is that. So it's going to stay the same, is that? Okay, so that's all right. So we've still got 49,000 transfer budget. I doubt there's going to be much in there. We might just process forward to see if there's anything that could come up there. If not, if it doesn't come up soon, then I will just skip to the point when we get the budget. Okay, so here we are. The board have set their initial budgets, and I am very, very pleased. We've got 6.73 million to play with, and 325k in the wage budget. We have got plenty of wage budget. So that is going to be the end of this episode. You've just seen what budget we have. There is the option actually before to bring in Cameron Carter-Vickers back on loan for just 10k a week. Now we've seen that, we're going to put in an offer. This will be the first of our transfers. Shrewd Spender we've just got an achievement for. Can I just see what that is for? You've gained 90% board confidence. Brilliant, I've got that. I don't think I even got that last season. So we'll do that. We probably should have changed some of the things there. But that'll be it for this episode. Next episode will be the start of the season with a brand new intro with brand new players. Hopefully we could bring in some good improvements with this money. I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to try to not bring in loan players as I've just bidded for one. I'm going to try and not bring in loan players with a fee attached to them, because I think it's a better idea to bring in young players that we can actually buy. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'm looking forward to the next season. I hope you are too. So tune in for that. Goodbye for now.